Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction. Today guys, I'm checking out Supergirl Season 5, Episode 8, the mid-season finale, entitled The Wrath of Rama. See, every time I see his name I think Comic-Con, but it's not the same thing. So, last episode, shit went down. They introduced Rama officially. He was kind of, I think he's like, what, the head of Leviathan or whatever, essentially. And what's interesting is that I like the reveal of the character and all that kind of stuff, and I like his powers. I think he's unique. My question is that the show's been on for now 5 seasons, and it took him this long to introduce this high-profile character, but he's always been in the shadows. But, like, you would think at some point he would have already, like, revealed himself by now, or at least fought Supergirl, or did something at some point, you would think. I'm not really sure the reasoning, but whatever, but I like the actor they got to portray him. And then the big thing is Lena didn't really do a good job at hiding the fact that she was actually at the Fortress of Solitude for another reason entirely than what Kara, Supergirl, wanted her to be there for and everything. But Lena did help a little bit, but then she revealed the truth. And I think it's interesting how they did this in the first half, right before Crisis, because they could have easily held this off and Lena reveal her true feelings about Kara and everything like that and having this big moment. Because that was a really emotional scene in the last episode. They could have waited till the back half after Crisis, but they didn't. So, I don't know what to expect, but man, last we saw, Kara was still stuck in that prison, essentially, in the Fortress of Solitude that Lena switched in order to, basically imprison Supergirl instead of Lena, because it was actually going after Lena because she's a Luthor, and then the Kryptonite and everything. I'm thinking, so they're not even get her out in the same episode? She's just still stuck there? So how long until someone realizes Supergirl isn't back yet? Who's going to go get her? So it's pretty crazy, but the show's really picking up for sure, and I mean, this is the last episode before Crisis. So I'm excited as hell what they're going to do in this episode. Here we go, guys. The Wrath of Rama, Comic-Con. Let's go.
Ms. Luthor, deploy. It appears to be rearming the cannons with kryptonite. We'll cancel it. It's on an automatic override. Shut it down. It's not responding. Shut it down now.
How did Supergirl and Luthor beat you again?
It doesn't matter how.
It doesn't?
Explain to her.
Tasmanic is a snake.
No, let me guess. Next is
Is she plotting them against? Is she plotting against everybody? You know what I'm saying?
The planets are coming into alignment for the first time in nearly 2,000 years.
Okay.
But only for tonight. She's been lying to us for months.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
so why attack you now?
So she could steal Myriad from the fortress.
Yeah, well that.
Malefic.
Oh! Calm down.
I was her prisoner.
Yes, he was.
She was experimenting with my ability to insect.
If Lena can harness Malefic's Q waves and merge them with the power of Myriad's distribution, the results would be unprecedented.
All she's experienced are people hurting each other the same way I did. Clearly, she thinks she's doing good.
It's true.
In her own way.
Karada, I have a job for you.
Oh!
Did it ever occur to you that I was going to do something good for the world?
But with Myriad, people won't understand.
Of course, you assumed the worst. I'm not the bad guy.
I know. Don't let my mistakes turn you into something you're not.
I am good.
Oh.
I always was.
And I get it. I fully understand why she feels betrayed.
Well, it's good you understand.
So hard for her.
Because this
to
would be
trust
really awkward if she didn't. Like, come on,
me. I
seriously?
need her trust me.
This isn't just two friends that are in a fight. This is someone who has turned a corner.
Yeah.
It's not her.
I
This
agree.
is not Arlena.
Well, who is Arlena? I mean, she knew that Lex was out of prison, and she said nothing. She knows how to make kryptonite, and she kept that hidden from us. Okay, we have to stop her, Kara. The safety of the world depends on her.
Yeah.
Not Lex. I will not treat her like a villain.
I know you won't. Kara, we have to start thinking with our heads.
You just told her that you used her for the hologram and you put a virus and everything. Like, that's not going to sit well with her.
You need friends when you can save the world.
That's a...
Myriad
oh,
is ready to launch.
that's a quote, though, for sure.
She's got Claymore 3 pointed directly at the bunker. But you can talk to her, right?
I don't know. I feel like Alex is sticking to her guns, in a sense.
You said Lena was analyzing your Q waves, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She isolated a frequency.
We could harness your Q waves.
We could use them to counteract Lena's. But she's launching a worldwide attack. Let me help. Let me make amends.
Okay.
Extinction level events have been happening since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
I should know.
It's weird how he's out in public with that outfit, you know, not trying to blend in.
Supergirl is not a god. I am.
Really?
What's going on?
She's able to take the staff away. Wow. He's not very smart.
You don't have to use Claymore.
We think we can use Malefic's Q-waves to counteract Lena's.
What if Malefic just decides to change his mind once we free him?
It is
You don't
possible.
know that for sure. And between Lena and
Eve did too. I have seen the depravity of humans. I have seen the
Are
betrayal.
they really gonna kill her off?
You're the only friend I can count on.
But Ms. Luther, I'm not your friend. I'm something you created to serve a purpose.
Could Brainy have been wrong?
No. Well, I want to figure out something else.
what are our odds?
98% chance Myriad will be neutralized and a 0.01% chance Lena will surrender.
You let him know that if he so much as smiles, I will have a dozen agents and their guns pointed directly at his heart.
Jesus. Aggressive. Damn, must be cold out there.
I'm here, Ms. Luther.
Stupid observation, I know, but still.
At the base of the
It is 3.1. Ms. Luther, we are locked and ready to launch Myriad.
That was fucking quick. Okay, man. Come on, Malefic. Let's do it.
Malefic's intercept is working. Have to remove the inhibitors from the equation. It's basic math.
I will not expose my agents to that risk.
That assumes there is a risk. Jean said his brother has changed.
Just do it. Just do it! Jesus! Come on! Come on! You can do it!
I have been here for millions of years.
Yes.
It's how it's always been. And how it always will be.
Good job.
People will never change.
No, Rama, you're wrong. People can change.
Damn. Damn. In the tar pit. I was about to say, are we going to see a continuation of that?
The planets are still aligned. There's still time.
Not for you.
Ooh.
This is not over.
Seems like it is.
I see.
Lena Luther, hands in the air.
It wasn't her. It was me. I did all of it.
Drop the gun.
Eve Tessmacher was there. She confessed to the whole thing. Had proof that she impersonated Lena. Had proof for all of it. She's not going to stop.
No, she won't.
And there's someone I'd like you to meet. Her name is Magan. She's a friend of mine.
Why haven't we seen her? Come on!
You know the White Martians. You understand them. You know how they think. You can appeal to them.
Well done, John Jones.
What? Hey!
You passed the test.
Test.
When I saw you fighting Elseworlds, I could see that you were a great warrior.
He was barely in it, though.
Ready for what?
Crisis of the Earth.
Crisis.
Crisis.
Checkmate.
Lex Luthor. Okay.
Time has come for you to fulfill your destiny, Lex Luthor. You could now become the hero that you have longed to be.
I've always been the hero. But first we have to discuss my sister.
Oh. There you have it, guys. The mid-season finale for Supergirl Season 5, The Wrath of Ramacon. Or Comic-Con, whatever. The Wrath of Ramacon. Interesting, because the way they were setting up the episode, it felt like to me that we were going to be getting multiple deaths possibly in this episode, and that did not happen. It didn't happen. I was expecting, the way they were talking, that Eve Tessmacher, who's not really Eve Tessmacher, because of Lena, maybe they're going to just get rid of the character entirely, even though it's Hope or whatever. I was thinking they were going to, because the way they were talking, was thinking maybe Malefic, they were going to kill off Jean's brother, but maybe that's too harsh because Jean's lost everything, so killing off his actual only living relative that's still alive at this point would be kind of messed up, so maybe not the case there. I was thinking maybe they're going to kill off Andre Rojas. They could have killed her off, Miss Rojas. They didn't do that either. Also thinking maybe Ramakan was going to die as well, and that did not happen either. So, I don't know. The kind of way it was building up, and the fact that, a lot of shit was happening in this episode, I thought that we were going to get some deaths to kind of, push it forward that, there's ramifications for what happened here, but not really too much ramifications except for some minor things that we'll jump into in the back half after Crisis is over, which is literally the next thing. So, I'll talk about the Lex stuff and the ending with Jean, with the Monitor, a little bit later. I want to kind of talk about other things first. So, with Ramakan failing, and I forget her name. It's the woman that's been talking to him, and it's only the second episode we've seen him. Talking about her technology, and then when he's there and he failed, she appointed herself. She took the staff away from him. I'm thinking, I was suspecting early on when she's talking, it's like, oh, they're whispering behind your back, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I think she's plotting against him. It's clear here. And I was right. Now, with Ramakan, a super volcano, like, the concept is a little bit jarring. Like, there's a super volcano, miraculously, under National City. Ding, 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 ding. How convenient for the plot. It was just so convenient. I'm thinking, okay, it's a little bit too convenient that where Supergirl is and all this other stuff, and like, it's all centralized here in National City. Of course, Ramakan lives in National City too. Of course, it seems like they should have just moved the supervolcano somewhere else that would still affect the whole planet or something to the effect. But no, it's got to be under National City. Okay. So he failed. I thought he was going to die since he failed. But no, still alive. So I'm guessing we'll see him in the back half, maybe. Lena failed as well. And the fact that she had a fail-safe in place. That if we are to fail Hope, you're going to take the fall for me, and we're going to have all this information proving that you impersonated me and all this kind of stuff, and it's all your fault. It's not Lena's. And my thinking is this. Even if they have all that information, because at the time of the arrest, they didn't. They did not have all that information. Because they immediately went, are you okay, Miss Luthor? Are you okay, Lena? And thinking, you are under the assumption it's Lena Luthor who's doing all this shit. And even though she has a gun put to her head, you still don't go with the idea of, maybe this is all a play. Maybe they both worked on this, so maybe show the fact that Lena gets arrested and then have her get out of jail because there's information, proof, which is planted. But they didn't do that, and I feel like that's kind of strange. Whatever. Alex and Kara going back and forth about Lena and how Kara thinks she can save Lena, and how Alex disagrees with it for the most part towards the end of the episode, I think made sense. Because Alex is coming from the standpoint of, we don't know the true Lena. And when she started stacking all of the things that Lena has done, where she can make kryptonite, didn't tell us, she had Sam, I think it was Sam, right? AKA Rain, under the building of LexCorp for several days or weeks or however long it was without our knowledge, and didn't even tell us about it. That too. And I think there was something else she listed, but regardless, it's not looking good for Lena. Lena's whole point was to make people better, to make the people good. And so she keeps repeating that line. I'm not evil. I'm not bad. Well, you're still mind controlling. Mind control. You're still mind controlling the people. So if people don't agree with what you're doing and you're forcibly doing something, even though you're bettering the people and bettering the human race, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because you're still forcing something onto them that they are not and that they don't want. So, in a sense, Lena is kind of evil. Lena is on the dark side, at least. On the dark side of the Force. That's where she is. She's not completely evil, but she's getting there. And Alex even said she's turned a corner. This is not just a spat between two friends who are fighting or disagreeing. This is something bigger, and it really was. Malefic basically trying to redeem himself and him going to Mars. and meeting Magan. I'm like, come on, why haven't we seen Magan in several seasons? Just bring her back. I want to see Magan and we'll see what the hell what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with Jean, they're doing a better job this season with his storylines than they did in season 4 with Manchester Black or whatever. I thought that was just very underwhelming and just very blah. But I feel like they're doing a better job, especially with Malefic in the mix. Now, let's talk about the big stuff at the end here. I think I covered mostly everything else. I mean, just a crazy episode, of course. It had Super Volcano and Myriad and all this kind of shit. So, John, who was barely in Elseworlds, was seen by the Monitor. And the Monitor's like, you need to come to Crisis. And he's like, a test. And then I think what they should have done is they should have rewrote the dialogue for the Monitor when he mentions, I saw you in Elseworlds and you're a great warrior or something. Whatever. Mentioning him in Elseworlds, he's barely in Elseworlds. They should have mentioned how the Monitor has seen him being a warrior for all these years, or see him, something to the effect of that Monitor has been monitoring many people, and that he's noticed Jean over the years, and it's not just Elseworlds specific, because he barely did anything in that crossover. But it's still cool that the Monitor goes to Jean and says, you're coming to Crisis, man. Because finally, we're fucking sitting here. The Monitor is the one who brings Malefic into Earth, onto their Earth, Earth 38. And then, this whole entire time in Season 5, we've not been having any teases whatsoever for Crisis until right now, which I think is a little bit underwhelming, because Flash is so heavily involved with setting up Crisis, and Arrow, of course, is centered on Crisis specifically. It's so crazy, of course. But Batwoman, it's set farther back, so there's no way to tie in Crisis right now, the timeline-wise. But they should have been doing more setup on Supergirl with Crisis. They should have been more teases, little hints, setting up Crisis. The Monitor maybe should have showed up in episode 1 or 2 or 3 of the season to tell Kara about an impending crisis. Something is coming, to warn her. And maybe that would drastically change the storyline for the first half of the season, but they should have done something, because I feel like it just feels like they're forcing it now, because it's the last episode before the goddamn crisis. We gotta do something. We've been dropping the ball majorly, setting up Crisis in a sense, because these other two shows that are currently in the same time frame as Supergirl with Arrow and Flash have been heavily dropping references every single goddamn episode, and Arrow is clearly centered around the whole thing. Why haven't we done that? I don't know, but they do it now. Of course, they confirm Lex Luthor's alive, and the whole fact of why Lex was brought back, which we all knew was coming. We already knew this, but the reason why is the Monitor says, we need a mind like yours. We need a mind like yours, Lex, in order to hopefully prevent Crisis. Now, what I think is more telling is that the Monitor isn't telling anybody anything else about what he's been doing. So, you know, he didn't tell Jean, well, I've been talking to Oliver Queen and I've been talking to the Flash, you know, Barry Allen. He's just like being so cryptic and just being specific to one individual. So, I don't know, I feel like that this was a long time coming for them to set up a Crisis. And it's happening really soon, a couple of days. So, there you have it, guys. That's my reaction to the mid-season finale. Overall, they did a pretty good job. I just feel like they kind of dropped the ball on setting up more Crisis stuff, and they waited until the last second to do it. But besides that, I think that they did a pretty decent job at doing some crazy shit in this episode, but didn't really have a lot of concrete deaths or anything that really substantially affected to change the storyline moving forward, besides the events of where they both failed, Lena and Ramakan. So we'll see where that goes, I guess, in the back half of Crisis after it's over. So there you have it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.